Mustache is back! I was actually going to chuck him out after the Don't Stop Me Now video, but then I was like, you never know, and you might need 6 mustaches. Although it's really more like 5 usable mustaches, because the Rogue is just a little bit too Hitlery for me. Although I guess if I ever want to do like Hitler gets hit in the nuts while playing a guitar video, then I am set. But aren't you glad I kept him? Because I was listening to my playlist and Mustache Man came on and I was like, yeah man, I had the perfect setup for this. So, Mustache Man. Actually, it's a fairly easy song to play, and it's a great one if you're just getting into bass, or if you're just trying to learn how to play with your fingers instead of a pick. I always prefer a pick. For a couple reasons. Number one, I just think it sounds a little bit better. You know, bass is a little bit too bassy for me. I like it when it's got a little bit more treble to cut through the mix. That's why I always have the treble on mine turned up just a little bit too. I play guitar, so I always like to keep my index fingernail a little bit long so that I've always got like a pick with me. But then when you're playing your fingers on bass, you've got one finger, the middle finger is like all nub-like, and then you've got your index finger, which is gonna pick up a little bit more treble while you're playing. So it sounds weird while you alternate. In fact, I actually picked up this, who's this? Wedgie pick, 3.1 millimeter. It's a rubber bass pick. Neat, right? That way I can play with a pick, but still get that nice bassy, rounded finger plonkin' kind of sound. Plonkin', is that a word? It is now! But I didn't want to use it for this video, in case people were like, ooh, he plays this song with his fingers. Not that people on the internet would be argumentative for the sake of being argumentative, no, especially not in YouTube comments. But for you finger players out there, or wanna-be finger players out there, or soon-to-be finger players out there, this one's for you. And like I said before I started this monologue, it is a fairly easy one, so let's drop you down and we'll get to playing. Alrighty, I feel like we are set up. You guys can see, right? Yeah, because everything is played, oop, hold on, I gotta switch my ring around. Everything is played pretty much around here for this entire song. So you want to be able to see back there, but I also want you to be able to see my fingers. Okay, and so for those of you wondering the difference between picks and fingers, I have my fingers with me, as I usually do. And just quickly, this is the verse with fingers. I'm using my ring and middle finger to play these because those nails are both short. And here it is played with my guitar pick that my wife got me, and I don't think it's gonna focus. Nope, there's no chance. But it says Jimmy America here, yeah boy, oh. So cool to have custom guitar pick, love it. And here it is with said pick. So you got a little bit more definition there. I think it sounds better, but that's not the way that Cake plays it. But I always like to try and play these songs as close as I can to how their guitarist or bassist plays it in the song. So that you people get like the authentic experience. And here it is with my wedgie rubber pick. Nice, isn't it? You get kind of like the best of both worlds. You get a little bit more definition, and you get a nice consistency, but it's still got that nice rounded bassy sound. I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's do the tutorial first. Okay, so I will be playing this with my fingers, but I'm also going to be playing with my index and middle finger. So you will get a little bit more sharpness on some of the notes. All right, with that out of the way, jumping into it. Like I said, most of the song is played right up here. So you don't have to move your hand around a whole lot. And the song's gonna start it off with just an open note on the E string. Okay, so these notes are 0, 0, 0, 2, 3, 0, 2. And you alternate. So you start with 0, 0, 0, 2, 3, 0, 2. The 0, 2, 3 being on the E. And then the 0, 2 being on the A. And you alternate that with, which is just 0, 0, 0, 2, 3, 3. So altogether, the verse is it's hard not to like dance while you're doing it. But also you're in a chair, so you can't dance a whole lot. And that's pretty much all the verse is. And then you get in the chorus. So let's break that down. The first part that we're going to learn is the mini bridge that joins the verse to the chorus. So you got a hammer-on and pull-off in there. And a hammer-on is when you play the note and then you immediately push your finger down onto whatever note you're hammering onto. So you only play the note once with your right hand, but you play it twice with your left hand. Or vice versa if you're left-handed. All right, pull-off is kind of the reverse. You play the note fretted, and then you kind of roll your finger off, and in doing so, it plays the string again, but it plays it open. These are very basic techniques of playing guitar. So sorry if you're way past this, but other people gotta know. So the mini bridge goes open, hammer 2, open, pull off 2 to 0, and then 3 on the E string. And then the rest of the chorus goes like this. Fairly easy stuff. If you're just starting out, this part will be more complicated than the verse, but you can do this. I know you can, because we're gonna break it down slowly. So it's just 3, 3, open 3. And there's a hammer on there if you want it. All on the A string, then we're gonna move up to the E string, which is just 0, 2, 3, 3, hammer on 3, open 3. I don't know how to say the hammer on. Okay, I'm just gonna say the regular notes and then tell you that there's a hammer on in there, which is just 0, 2, 3, 3, 0, 3, 3, 0, 3. And that note is played on the open A. Then the next part, so that's just 2, 2, hammer on 2, 2. Then it goes, and that just goes 0, 1, 2, 2, hammer on 2, 2, open, open. Make sense? And then it starts over again. And then at the end of the chorus, he ends on this 5 here, which you could play as an open D string, because it's the same note, but he slides after he plays it. So I like to play it here, because you can't slide an open note. And that's pretty much the whole song. After that chorus, he goes into the intro again, but he plays it a little bit differently. Plays it. And then when they get into the next verse, he plays the first half of that differently as well, but easier because it's just. Which is a lot of fun to play. So that is just an open E. And then the is just open and 2 2s. Then it goes, which is the open again on the E. And then 0 2 2 like we did before, but then we're going to add another 0 2. So the whole thing goes. And here I'm playing the open string with my ring finger so I can keep my index finger and middle finger on this D string. Just in case you're like, but he's not playing the open string. But he is, just sneakily. Sneaky Stan. And then about halfway through, he switches back to how the first verse / intro goes. If you're having trouble with the hammer-ons and pull-offs, don't sweat it too much, because the more you practice it, it'll just kind of come to you naturally eventually. And you can't actually play the song without it, it just sounds a little less funky. So, as an example, here's the intro / verse with and without hammer-ons. And to really see the difference, I want you to watch this hand right here. My right hand, which may be the left hand if you're looking at the screen, but it's my right hand. Stage right, I think. So here it is with hammer-ons. And here it is without. So you can play without hammer-ons, but your fingers are going to be doing a lot more work, and it sounds a little less funky. And there you have it. That is Mustache Man in brackety things wasted. I don't know why sometimes it's got brackety things and other times it doesn't have the wasted part. Sometimes it's just Mustache Man. I call it Mustache Man. Great song if you're just starting out and you're looking to get a little bit more technical. I remember the first song that I ever learned how to play on bass was Good by Better Than Ezra, which was just... I think that was the entire song. So there you go, you get 2 bass tutorials for the price of 1 in this video. Also great song if you're switching from picks to fingers and you're trying to work on your dexterity a little bit more. Or if you're just looking for a groovy song to play. Hope you've enjoyed it, and we'll catch you next week with another tutorial. That's even harder to do on bass.